Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to October's edition of Tasting in the Dark. We have assembled an esteemed panel yet again of ruffians, hooligans, and wine professionals throughout. So without further ado, gentlemen, let's jump in, introduce yourselves to the world one by one, starting here, and let them know, why do you feel a compulsion to be here tonight to judge these poor little wines?
My name is Sean Quinn.
Thank you, Sean. We're going to
And
get this together.
I'm here because of my beard mostly. But no, my compulsion to judge these wines is just truly my love for wine, red hair, the New York Jets, and really my hopeful ability to be able to judge these wines on par with my excitement for pressing and all the other things like I did on last show.
Excellent. And what facet of the wine world do you sit in?
I'm actually not sure since I'm answering for him. Truth is, my name's Ian White. I'm in the media and marketing of wines. I also make wines with a couple of business partners, and for the most part, I do a little bit of hosting of ToutSuite and a whole lot of working with marketing departments. And this is my friend Sean Quinn.
Wait, I thought it was Ian White.
Okay, we can answer first as Ian White.
Okay, well, I'm Ian White. That's Sean Quinn, and I'm here representing long curly hair, which I've had at some point, so now I can relate.
Still does somewhere around here.
It's always plenty down here. I should. Oh, see, it just popped on its own. See what you did there? I love it. And a compulsion to just travel both Napa and Sonoma Valleys, going to every single party that I can get an invite to, and even ones that I don't get invited to. I'm just a champion at showing up places and writing about them. And I don't know how many magazines I write for now. There's quite a few there. I even got bored with the ones I was writing for and started my own. So, I mean, it's pretty fantastic the amount of work I'm doing. So, I'm Ian White and I go around and I party.
Yeah.
So,
So we have the two boys in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Let's introduce someone perhaps a bit more civilized in the arena. Mr. Wasserman.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Has the day been treating you well?
Been treating me right well, thank you.
Are you
Thank
excited
you
for the moment ahead to peruse 6 unbelievable wines from perhaps points around the globe, maybe right here in Napa, California?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm jazzed. I'm ready to not be believed.
Excellent. All right, we're going to go beyond the boundaries of belief this evening, ladies and gentlemen, to the edge and back as it would be. So, gentlemen, the format is as follows. Peruse through the first 3 wines at a fairly good clip. We give you about 6 to 7 minutes to break them down and decide yummy, super yummy, oh wow, what is this?
only those 3?
Well, the first 3. Then if you'd be kind enough to discharge your glasses, refill them with the appropriate bottles of D, E, and F. We will sojourn through the next flight in about that same time frame, about 7 minutes, all the while Fair Maiden and myself will be making fun of you in front of the whole world. So with that note, get in there and have some fun.
There's already a negative association, though. It says Fed right in front of me, and I'm just going to say it's kind of awkward timing to have that on the brain, right?
It is really.
Spin them around and have it spin back, if that helps.
Wow, that's much better.
Sorry. Now, in earnest, we shall begin. So, my lovely lady, co-host, would you be kind enough to introduce yourself to the World Wide Web?
Hi, my name is Rachel Voorhees, and I'm a certified sommelier with the Court of Masters, and I do a lot of freelance writing in the wine world. So I'm currently the food and wine writer at BevMo. So I have selected wines from BevMo stores to bring in today. I also do some social media for wine.com, and I also do a food and wine column and write wine reviews at allparenting.com.
Right on. Wow. Quite, I'm a little affronted. I've never sat with someone who is so technically proficient and gorgeous. Okay, now I do have a knack for discovering the obvious, hence the BevMo packaging. Is there a theme, thesis, or desire as to what these 6 wines will represent or why they were selected?
The theme really is for BevMo stores, for people to know that BevMo sells wines from all over the world. Okay. I think a lot of BevMo customers come in and just kind of tend to buy the same thing all the time. Okay. So I'm trying to represent different countries from around the world and also just show the variety that BevMo carries.
Right on. Now, if someone wanted them to have you write a piece on their behalf, how would they get a hold of you?
I have my own website. It's rachelvoorhees.com. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. And I do a lot of wine reviews. I also really enjoy cooking. So I make my own recipes and do a lot of food and wine pairing as well.
All right. So. Fantastic. Okay, now, let's study these little monkeys.
They look very serious.
Wow, that's delicious. Okay. There is a much more studious quality now that everyone's got pen in hand. They're not really tasting the wine, so I'm a little nervous on their behalf. Good to see the brotherly rivalry, yes, trading notes, and
They're trading papers. They're cheating off of each other.
which is really going to be funny because this is a pair of X's trying to replicate zeros. Okay, now let's start with Mr. Wasserman. The studious look, the pontification, the glasses. Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. You saw it here first. Yes, not only is he deeply engrossed, but he's just showing off. I like it. Now he's coaxing his face back to the glass, maybe? Not sure. Okay. Back.
There's not a lot of smelling going on over here.
I've noticed that this is either the most rudimentary tasting panel we've ever assembled, or perhaps it is blind genius that one sip, boom, they've got it locked in, they know what it is, and they have a much more firm expectation for the rest of the day. I'm confounded.
Well, I do notice they're all smelling and tasting B right now, the second one in the middle.
Okay, all right.
At the same time.
Which is kind of
Moving at the same pace.
could be. A bunch of turtles do all move at the same pace. Good point. We got to go to the beard thing. Tom,
I think that was a requirement to be on tonight's show on the tasting panel. You have to have a beard.
I didn't get the memo. I don't know these things. Even our assistant producer is rocking a beard. Apparently, this is home of the beard movement. When will professional bearding really come to Napa Valley?
We should rename the show the Bearded Tasting Panel for tonight.
Let's just go with bearded panel. Okay, Rachel, a little bit about yourself. Are you from out here in California? Did you first acquire enthusiasm for wine in other places? Let us know.
Okay. I grew up down in the South Bay, Los Gatos, and I've really been into wine probably since I was 8 years old. My father's a wine collector.
Okay.
So I laid bricks, actually. I remember laying bricks in his wine cellar in the house I grew up in down in Los Gatos. And I've always loved writing. I used to be a teacher. I have my master's in education. And so then I was approached to write a wine column for a website, and I said, I can do this. I know a lot about wine. I grew up drinking Bordeaux and Burgundy and fun champagnes and know enough to write that. And then I decided that I really wanted to learn more. So I went to the International Culinary Center down in Campbell, California, and I did the Court of Masters Level 1 and Level 2 Certified Sommelier course. And then everything is kind of snowballed from there. Writing for BevMo and my own site and all parenting and doing some social media for wine.com. So yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Is there a particular area within the globe that you have an affinity for or a desire to drink more from?
Well, I do. I love French wine. I actually was in Champagne last week for a journalist media trip. So I tasted 90 champagnes in 6 days. So that was fun.
Wow. Any shining stars?
You know, I loved the small growers. We saw Champagne Jacquesin was awesome. Sure. We did go to some larger houses. Went to Veuve Clicquot, Tat & J, Piper Heidsieck, which were wonderful, of course. But the smaller ones we went to Champagne Coulon, which the village is 200 people, and having dinner with the husband and wife that own the champagne house, and so it was special, yeah. So that's kind of my favorite region now. I love Italian wine. I love Bordeaux. I love Burgundy. Okay. I like Spanish wine. So. Okay,
fantastic. It is really nice to see this renaissance of grower champagnes really coming back to market, where they were just neglected or overlooked due to they couldn't compete with these gigantic houses. And now it's nice that we get to benefit from that. So everybody out there in cyber world, go find a new favorite grower champagne and tell your friends. Okay, now back to the table. So the monkey business continues. We've got, wow, look at that. We're going to call time in just about 20 seconds to jump into the second flight. This should be enough to repel these guys to be a little nervous. They're starting to sweat. Look at this. I see sweat dripping down two of these candidates. All right. Indeed. I think they're just sweet little children lost in the forest, trying to smell their way back to safety. All right, gentlemen, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're jumping into the second flight. I have this knack for discovering the obvious, and so I am quite certain that those were all white wines.
Yes, they were all white. And guess what the next three are going to be?
I, again, have this knack for discovering the obvious. I'm going to go right to the other side of the coin, throwing a dart at the dartboard, and guess red?
Yes. No, they're all sparkling. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, they're red.
Actually, those Aussies do make sparkling red wines. I've never understood that. Having worked down there, it just seemed like a bad idea. Okay, so the befuddlement continues. Wow, that Messy Bessie in the middle really just can't seem to hit the glass. You'd think this was his first time ever drinking on camera. All right. Now,
Let's see if they keep the correct order in the correct glass.
we're so far. I think we're about 80%. We've got 3 more chances to screw up. Wait a minute. Okay. Wow. We did it. We made it. Right through that dangerous part.
Oh, last pour.
Bradley's up, and it's a success. Actually, I know there's a lot of baseball going on tonight, so that will maybe make them references to hitting it out of the park here. Okay, wow, did you see that? That glass was so shocking, it scared him. I mean, I know fear. I can smell his fear from here. Now he's back to goofball mode. Okay, so these guys aren't going to take this seriously. Oh, wait a minute. Conan O'Brien in the middle is, he's now starting to settle down. We've maybe broken through the facade. The chiseled exterior has begun to crumble.
It's the purple shirt.
I think you're right.
You guys kind of match.
Yeah, well, we sent a memo to each other earlier. Yeah, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of green, purple. So we're stretching, we're reaching, kind of what they're doing with the wines. Not really sure. Terrified to make a mistake. Only Bradley has not succumbed to any of this. It's almost as if we're tasting with the Buddha himself. This is all beneath me, but I will have fun with it to placate you all. But this isn't serious business. This is just for fun. So were the wines selected for a fun quality, or is there some serious notes that you were trying to purvey?
Well, I will reveal kind of why we chose these wines from BevMo later, but I don't want to give away too much right now.
I love it. The plot thickens, ladies and gentlemen.
So they're all different, which I think they're expressing by their facial expressions, right?
Yeah, there's going to be quite a polarizing effect at the table. How the galvanized some will bond to certain bottles and then just push away, fight tooth and nail to not go into that other side. It's going to be exciting. I can't remember the last time I had a panel that started off like a barrel full of monkeys and then settled into this almost
very serious, very serious.
There's almost a placid quality now where the enthusiasm of what set up the moment. We're now in the denouement. Okay, we haven't lost it entirely, thank heavens. That would be an almost wet willy, ladies and gentlemen, which is appropriate only on the 5th and 6th glass. Up to that point, huge foul, we'd have to throw you out. Now, back to Bradley. So I know his training in wine is not only vast and extensive, it's been lifelong. Like yourself, he comes from a family that's quite sophisticated with the grape, and I'm really excited to see how he breaks down the wines, knowing that there is such a global template in front of them.
Right. I'm interested to see kind of what they think the wines are and where they're from around the world.
Yes, that was me giving a demonic laugh. Very much so. Really fun, bright, tropical tones. Yeah. It's just got a nice energy to it. Okay, so... Was there a pinnacle wine in the evolution of you, Miss Rachel Voorhees, that you said, wow, how did they do that? That's an unbelievable experience.
I don't know. I've tasted so many wines. I don't know if I could pick just one. I remember the fall of 2011, my parents retired and they live in Hawaii, and I was having wine with my dad. And he opened a 1982 Mouton Rothschild first growth Bordeaux.
Swinging for the
fences. And it was one of those wines where I said, this, and that's kind of when I decided, I'm like, I want to be a sommelier. Like, I want to learn more because the wine was so unbelievable and it kept changing in the glass. But also, not even just what the wine was, that it was, this nice first growth Bordeaux. It was more of the experience of the wine, sure. Which I always tell people, what's your favorite wine? And it always has to do with the experience and who you're with.
Absolutely.
And so then my dad took his last sip of his 82 Mouton Rothschild, and he goes, oh, that's too bad. It's kind of like losing a best friend.
Well, hopefully this evening we won't lose any best friends. We'll make a couple along the way. That's right. All right, so the boys have had a fair amount of time. We are now just about 1.5 minutes away from the conclusion of Tasting in the Dark, where we will pick up the tally sheets, have them tabulated by the esteemed firm of Lustau and Lustau, and return to the table so we can unmask the winner right down through the most lackluster guy. Okay. Now, these guys I know have had a lot of training, and they're wine professionals at some level, which is just a funny term in its own right. Professional anything in this room is just a little absurd. So, from a point of accreditation, I think you've pretty much got us all toe to tee. So, if you had advice for someone out in cyber world, had a desire to get into wine, is there a path that you might recommend?
I think just kind of reading about it and following hold
on right there.
Okay.
What should they be reading?
Okay, well, so I think this day and age, social media is such a huge part of any company, everybody uses it. So I think following wineries and different wine stores on Twitter and Facebook and kind of seeing what they have, and everybody has a nice, fun personality about it. And then, reading, a lot of wineries have blogs, and a lot of even, on All Parenting, I write about wine. I write about wine reviews, and I make everyday recipes, and I pair everyday wine with them.
Aren't too many parents that don't know the gift of a bottle.
That's right. It's 5:00. It's time. It's time for some wine. So I think social media is a big part of it. It's a great way to learn, kind of to get into it and start. So that would be my answer.
Right on. Okay, Cheyenne is now done. Cheyenne 2 is still aggressively writing away. And Bradley's examining his last glass. A knowledgeable look. And I'm actually now in fear for the wine. I think this guy's so good that he's just going to tear this up. I think not only does he know vintage and varietals, I think he might even drill all the way down to producer.
He knows all the producers probably.
Aha. Now, on the topic of expanding your repertoire is what you like to drink, finding a wine shop like BevMo, and even more importantly than the shop itself, find someone that you connect with as a salesperson or a manager, whomever. Because once they get to know your palate, they can put things in front of you with a much greater success rate. And that way you'll be drinking wines that are a bit more in your wheelhouse. And then when you have a desire to step outside of that, you're more than welcome to. The loving, it's so heart touching and he does need a little primping. So if you could, the collar would be, there we go. Okay.
Well, and that's the great thing about BevMo is that you can start out drinking, your typical.
Sorry, there is the edge and then there is the abyss.
The clothes are
Didn't even see that edge. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, put down your pens. Mr. Lustow, if you'd be kind enough to pick up what they were, the utensils they were writing with, we will now journey on over and say hi to these three ruffians. Okay, here we go. Wow. So, fellas, before we go any further, were any of the wines so paramount that they just spoke to you at a deeper level? Bradley?
I think I was kind of interested in D. Had some quirky, kind of cool aspects to it. Cool climate, maybe Pinot Noir, maybe think of sort of Germany, just something off the beaten
Das der
path.
Sparkburgunder?
Oui.
A lot of French going on?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it just spoke to me. It was probably the most interesting of them.
Okay.
Just turned my head. It was.
Now, are you guessing Pinot Noir because you, like me, can smell lye like a fart in a car, and that looks like a burgundy bottle?
Well, I hadn't actually gotten that far, but yeah, sure.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to level the playing field for everybody.
Just trying to look at the wines, not any exterior clues.
No, I can certainly see why you resonated with you. That's quite fun.
But some really cool climate, something different.
Cool. All right, same question, my man.
B.
B.
I spend more time than anything on B. And
I noticed.
Got a little
to
weird.
fortify your
Did it
point.
get weird? Yeah.
We were drinking B as well. So
Yeah.
Was I
just saying.
kind of like just whispering to it, and was it really just
There was
getting weird?
There was a
Because
couple
I was getting
of
weird with it, and
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was just in my head or whether you guys actually saw that.
And smelled it.
I didn't smell
Yeah.
it. Oh, man.
It was intense.
But, no, I really enjoyed B. It for me, it had the most qualities that I couldn't put my finger on. And whenever I start trying to break down a wine where I smell something I like or I smell something I'm not sure of and I can't name it, that's when I just get even more and more excited. And that's exactly where B went with me. And I was
Right on.
still
Now, you
wrapping my
mentioned
head around it.
breaking down a wine. What does that mean?
For me,
Indeed.
I guess once you get into the wine industry, you're told what the right way is and the wrong way is. For me, it's trying to look at a wine without pretense and just look at specific things that come to your mind first. Because the minute you get beyond that, then you're just overthinking it and you're reminding of too many things. So just trying to get a little bit of the aromatics out of it. What are the first things that come to mind? And then once you've just already put those away, really now start breaking down the palate. How does it dance, if it dances? Is it just kind of something that washes through your palate, or does it hit different receptors all around the inside? And for me, there were so many different things going on that I was kind of overwhelmed by it. Almost as much as Ian right here, really just trying to overwhelm me from that side, but the wine beat you, Ian.
It
The
did. Well, it's
wine,
kind of doing that Miley Cyrus thing for you. What do you call that?
You know what?
From YouTube?
that was that for me.
Yeah, it's working.
Twerking.
Twerking in your mouth, right?
Actually, I was kid on a wrecking ball, but we can work with that.
And these are both provocative.
Right. Twerked.
Points
Thank
in
you
time.
for picking that up. I was thinking, damn.
Okay.
Well, so I write, and most of what I do is about experience and wine country experiences around the world. And so for me, I picked up on two specific wines because of the experiences I've had with flavors. The first one, I really got a lot of green and a lot of bell pepper and a lot of jalapeno, and that reminds me of my wife's family's wines. Sometimes they do a lot of things in that nature, and it brought me back to kind of my first Sauvignon Blancs and things of that nature. And then the last one reminded me a lot of an older vintage of a Chateau Montelena that was my first experience hosting a tasting, actually, and I got that one way wrong too. But it was the flavors in those two actually that it brought me back to those experiences. So experientially, those two had made the strongest point to me. So
Transported you through time and space to a happy place in your time.
yes,
Which is what I was talking about over there, with having the experience of wine, and that's really what it's all about, not really necessarily what you're even drinking.
right.
It's all about the experience. So.
And I forgot to look at the bottles like completely when I was doing this. That would have been really probably.
I was actually just thinking the same
Okay.
thing. It's like,
Okay.
that might have worked.
The tabulation is complete. I turn you over to Monsieur Lusta.
That's right, because this time this is a little bit puzzling.
Wow, what a shocker.
So we have we have D, E, and A scoring the same.
Whoa, a three-way tie.
So we need to go through that. We need to have a
Smackdown.
We do have a clear winner, but you guys have to go back to those the A, D, and E.
So they're going to be blends now.
Actually, E needs to go away. I don't know how it tied because I totally, in the heat of things at the end, mistabulated. I don't know if you looked at that.
No, I didn't.
But that should be 11 points and not 15.
Okay, so.
Oh boy.
All right.
Now it's
Yes,
back to
he
a
needs
two.
to
This is what Ian does.
That's what- yeah.
This is exactly what he does.
Yeah, I get him
So that
flustered.
should totally
I get
be
him
11.
flustered. You like that?
So now it's a two-way smackdown.
All right, so actually what we're gonna do is reveal E. So, Bradley, you really didn't like it. And
Not a big
what was
fan.
wrong with that?
It had this somewhat manufactured quality to it. I get it right away on the nose. I actually didn't catch the sediment until later, so I had to go back and think, well, is this actually an older wine? Is there something else happening here? But my first impression was this is probably just a pretty simple wine made in very large quantities, and certainly not,
How much should we pay for it?
not being judgy for that, but in my wheelhouse, it's
How much should you pay for this?
$10.
$10? Ian, that was your favorite wine.
Awesome, and this is why Tasting in the Dark is so much fun, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I actually, having not looked at the bottle, for me it struck me as having a lot of the kind of local Pinot qualities in terms of that earthy, skunky stinkiness. And as I moved
Whose
through the
Pinot do
wines,
you
it
drink?
was, right? Yeah. For me, a lot of the Russian River kind of stuff and even some of the Carneros ones, and I like them, Truchard and things of that nature. And actually some of the qualities of that wine reminded me of that. I can't say I was with house palate or whatever, I wasn't blown away by many of the wines, but that one was the most, to me, it felt the most local, obviously, incorrect, but it felt the most similar
How much you pay
to
for
my
it?
house palate. I listed it at $19.99 thinking that it might be a nice
Okay,
one.
okay. Rachel, what was the wine?
So,
Whoa,
this,
whoa, whoa.
No, you're in the middle. You gotta be like,
You're the hammer. These are nails. It'll be okay.
so this is a Spanish wine. It's 100% Tempranillo from Ribera del Duero region in Spain. And so I can reveal this now. I didn't want to reveal it later. All of these wines are on the BevMo's current 5-cent wine sale list, and they have I don't know. Everybody's familiar with BevMo's 5-cent wine list sale.
I wasn't
But-
until now that I know I can mix and match.
Well, that's so. This is the new 5-cent. I know. The new 5-cent wine sale you can mix and match. Whereas before you had to buy one and you get the second of the same wine for 5 cents. But now you can mix and match. You don't have to get the same wine. So this is $29.95, but really it would be $15 because the second one's only 5 cents.
$20.95, so yeah, all right. Here it is.
So you were both right?
We still have to
was more
define
Yeah, well, they were right in the middle.
which will be wine number 5. So we need to go very quickly through A and D.
To review them?
Yeah, to reread them. We need to have the 5 and the 5.
Evacuate 2 of your glasses.
I still have it.
A.
Oh, I just poured out D.
Don't,
Was I
don't take that
thinking?
long.
That's still D.
Chop, chop, people. Come on.
Okay.
Playtime's
I'm
over.
gonna
This
put
is serious
D back
business.
in D.
Work with me, work
I
with
still
me.
have D.
Okay.
Use the hand.
So you have D, you have D.
I need A.
Even your
Let's
ginormous
just do
boys.
a-
There you go.
do a
Snuggle up.
rinse.
Come on. Get in here, D.
Do a rinse.
splash.
It's like a family. We're rinsing,
And your
people. We're
cook has a
rinsing.
large production of Spanish wine.
Cool.
A and D.
A and D. Or duh.
Maybe we should try. Do you have D? Do you have D?
I
I
have
think you have
D.
D.
I have D. You want some A?
No, I think I'm gonna try the D. Where did it go? Oh, it's way over.
It's way over there.
Wait.
Are
We're
you,
having our own little thing.
the only question is, I want to make sure that you guys are not changing your score, or if you want to change your score, this is now or
Are
never.
you waffling, or did you really believe what you believe? Ian believes. I
I
can
do.
sense
I'm
the
not-
presence of a believer.
I'm at least not going back on it, you know. It's I'll be as wrong now as I was then. But
Yeah.
actually, you know, my one glorious moment doing this, I was at Bounty Hunter Wines, and you know, if you guess whatever they bring in the brown bag, you know, you get it for a penny. And I was just befuddled completely, and I'd never gotten it right before, so I just guessed Argentinian Malbec, and they were like,
You bastard.
who told you? I was like, no, wait, really? Is that right? And it was, and they asked me to divulge which of the servers had actually come forward with that information. And I was like, no, it was really just a lucky guess. To
I'm
this
just
day, they
that
don't
good,
believe
guys.
me.
You're gonna have
I admitted there's nothing.
When I
good
step
about
up to the plate, it's going out of the heart.
Argentina,
people.
who would ever? Nah, I nailed it.
You just
for
kind of walked
one
up and
penny.
pulled one of those.
Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
was
that's
lucky.
where it's going.
It was lucky, man.
Okay,
but
all right.
it was a good
God
moment.
forbid anybody ever get a blind tasting right.
Right? No.
Sean, are you changing your,
The only thing
Yeah,
I,
he's
I,
waffling. I mean, this guy in the middle. You got
So,
whole
I'm
wheat on
actually-
both sides. We got
I'm actually not
liberals
even
right here.
waffling. I'm actually now, thankfully, getting to taste this wine after it's been open for a little while. Because when I first tasted it, and now that I'm looking at the bottle to screw cap,
There
and
it
the
is.
palate was completely reduced. I was getting just crazy amounts of, instead of saying H2S, I'll just say baby poo, which is that reductive, bound up sulfide
Smell a lot
smell.
of baby
And
spots
now
lately?
that's
gone?
I've had little brothers and sisters. I've had to change diapers. Now that actually has finally
Just a little
gone
curious.
away, I'm a little bit happier with this wine.
Okay.
So I would happily take my taste texture from a 2 out of a 6 up to a 4.
Which one is it?
Whoa.
What number?
A.
A?
So that'll give it an overall of a 12 instead of a 10.
You saw that I had written 4. I think the bottle and my 4.
Well, how about you, Bradley?
If
You can stay the same level.
Wow, he's going in. You
I
see
can
that?
stay.
He's tightening up the arms.
I know.
Took the shit out of this glass.
Yeah, I think finish has to go from 3 to 2. I'm bringing it down to 12.
Wow. Just like
It's,
that, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a little more aggressive, and I don't know if that has anything to do with being open, but I mean, I got a lot of sulfur straight away. I got canned green vegetables right away. I mean, that sets off Banker to
And D remains the same for you guys?
I'm sorry?
D.
He's French. You got to interpret.
Comfortable with D.
D. You okay with that?
Comfortable with D.
Okay, all right.
I'm comfortable with D as well.
Okay, and you too? Perfect. All right, so let's reveal D. So
Bradley.
on D, Ian, you didn't like it.
2010 Chateauneuf de Pape.
You
Did
didn't like
anybody
it?
think that's what that was?
No.
You didn't like it?
I was not a big fan. I am also not that familiar with French wine specifically, more so with Italian. So it's still, again, with experience and house palate, there's
Italian?
nowhere for me to really put
Chateauneuf,
it.
where do you get Italian
What's
out of
that?
Chateauneuf?
No, I said I'm familiar with
Well, back in
Italian,
the day, the
with French
Lombards,
wines, things
when
of that nature.
Alto
So
Adige and Piedmont, they were all kind of lumped together.
Yeah, no, with
We had
Italian
Chardonnay
wines,
back in
I
the
have an
day.
experience where I can place it. For this one, I don't really have an experience where I can place
Gotcha.
it.
Right. It's all about the experience.
It actually makes sense now, because thinking about Chateauneuf de Pape and thinking about 13
metagens.
varietals that you can use and types of things you're going to get, and I was wavering about calling it Pinot because it had that light, it had a little bit more of that earthy. I didn't go Old World, I didn't go Chateauneuf because it had a little bit more fruit than I was expecting.
It's
So-
not as big as some other Chateauneuf de Pape.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But that actually, kind of looking back at it, I appreciate it more
Right.
that it's not that. So if I'm only paying 5 cents for this wine, you guarantee you're going to be buying a case.
Well, and I think it's a great, for me, I think this is a great intro bottle that you can get from BevMo to introduce somebody to Shot Enough to Pop. And it's not going to break the bank like some of them. So that's why I like it.
To help fortify Rachel's point, you drink Chateau Neuf to Pop because it's sexy. I mean, that's the reason. You can't really afford Burgundy, and the funny part about making Pinot Noir in other places, of course we're not going to be as successful because we're not that close to the Rhone. We can't truck in juice to fortify our softer vintages. That's why it's so bloody yummy. So now
I'm so confused. I thought you drink Chateau Neuf du Pape, so you can say Chateau Neuf du Pape.
Yeah. Just say CDP.
Hey,
CDP.
They're probably not listening right now, but actually a really good friend of mine who got me into the wine industries, back when these things still existed, their AOL instant messenger handle, which now we all have Twitter handles, and I'm sure they transferred it over. Their Twitter handle, because they were so excited, was Chateau Neuf du Hop. So they kind of had a little bit of fun. I just had to shout that one.
That-
I hope they're watching. I asked them to watch.
Yeah.
Wine and beer.
I love that.
The next one we're revealing is but I would like to know what you think it is.
Oh, New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. I think.
All right.
As
What about you?
green and as vegetal. I mean, banana peppers and limes and the fact that it's screw cap and we all said it was reduced. I mean, show me I'm wrong, but I would say New World Sauvignon Blanc.
What about you, Brad? What do you think?
I do think you're wrong. But you make a good argument.
only because you're an idiot.
Hey, I'm the wrong one here all day, so I love it. I'll be the devil's advocate. I'm okay with that.
I think for I mean, it's a really strong argument, but there is a green vegetable character that is
A vegetable?
vegetable
Canned fresh.
canned, yeah, and that's where
Must know.
that's where I go with Gruner Veltliner. So that's
Oh, we're going to the hills, people.
How about
Yeah.
you?
Also supports the Stellan concept.
I also went with, I got a lot of those green notes. I got a little more jalapeno though, and I see a lot of jalapeno these days all over California. It's something that it's almost become a hallmark of Sauvignon Blancs around here. And so I went with the California Sauvignon Blanc. Sometimes greeners for me get some of that kind of petrol thing going on, and so I didn't get any of that. And so I guess I'm on team wrong. Damn it.
All right, so we have a kind of
We don't know that. We don't know that yet.
We have
Oh, no,
we have
him.
we have a Sauvignon Blanc from California. We have a Sauvignon Blanc from New
I'll
Zealand.
just say New Zealand.
We have a greener from
Austria.
Austria. And what do you think would be?
I'm going domestic SB.
SB? Okay.
He's sticking domestic, all right?
So do I get to say who's right?
Sure.
Or we wait till we open
Well,
the bottle?
reveal it.
Dun, 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 dun. Rip that sucker off. Rip its dress right off.
Well, I don't know. He put a lot of tape on this.
Well, we intentionally
We've
did.
got time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Purple shirt guy was right. This is a New Zealand
Ah.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Nice. Good job.
But there's two purple shirt guys.
But I was
Oh,
only,
I
I was
meant
only half right. You were all right.
Yeah. Well, you still said New. That's still New World.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Yeah, that
awesome.
was a very safe
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
You kind of
You
didn't
didn't
land
pick
it
the
like.
country. You cheated.
Well, it does. It's pushing jalapeno. It's got
Yeah.
a much more citrus dominant profile. For
Right.
it to have been from New Zealand, I would have thought more tropical notes, and it seemed to lean a bit more on a cooler ground.
Yeah,
What-
that is like big time grapefruit.
Well done,
Bell
Sean.
pepper.
Woohoo!
So we
From
have
zero to hero, baby. Look at you sitting in the top of the class. Hell yeah!
So
Sorry,
now,
heck yeah.
so now we have another tie, and we need to test between C and F.
Boom, people.
It's a C
See.
in your white glasses.
See if it is.
Yeah. See?
You can see.
Particularly jalapeno.
Yeah.
Hence, I was thinking.
Well,
Yeah.
Is there enough to?
yeah, that's plenty.
Around?
I mean, this isn't a Napa Cab bottle, so you can actually see how much wine is in it by picking it up. It's not one of those ones where you go, oh, I still have wine.
Yeah.
Empty.
Son of a monkey! Those bastards drank it all.
F.
Please. You.
Ladies
And the New
gentlemen.
Zealand Sauvignon Blanc was $18.95.
$18.95?
So, but it's like, cut that
Second
in
one's
half,
only
it's
5
6.
cents, people.
We're gonna put it on the website later,
Okay.
the results.
All right, the tomfoolery continues, the shenanigans all aside. Ladies and gentlemen, it's crunch time. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen such stiff competition on a tasting in the dark. This is
First time.
terrifying. Terrifying.
First time.
I'm starting to get nervous. It's getting dark outside. There's going to be zombies later. I just don't know what we're going to do. So, DDA. It's been
Right.
it's been intense.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, I never seen anything like that. That was easy to,
We've been doing this for years.
yeah.
Wow, this is awesome.
We're like 37 minutes. Well, maybe a mistake with a
We got a
shot.
double swirler. I don't know if all of you out in cyber world were catching that. Our hero was going double swirl. That was awesome. There are rookies and pros in every arena, ladies and gentlemen. That's a pro move.
I want to see him pick both of them up though and do it in the air like that. There we go. There we go.
I want to see you taste them at the same time.
With a blue finger, ladies and gentlemen. That's 2 smashed fingers, and he can still perform with the dexterity of a mere mortal. No, a god, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, well, deity for now, but we'll elevate you later.
All right, guys. So, are you changing the scores on the on these ones?
Oh my gosh, she's here quiet.
They don't even know.
They're so
No,
scared.
I'm good.
No, you good with it? Good.
All right. Ian's put his foot down. Boom, resoundingly.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll actually,
A new very little den.
I'll give 2
Very
bonus
low.
points to C.
To see.
To C.
Whoa,
I'm gonna jump
coming
that way.
around the 3rd pole, hitting the furlong home. Gets
Which
pushed
makes it
2
a what?
horses up.
16.
16.
Whoa, 16, ladies and gentlemen, on a scale of 20 potential.
My.
Yeah.
Big fan.
That would be fair.
Big
You're gonna have to
fan.
defend this one here.
I actually think there's something going on down there. I think he's getting excited.
You guys see Bradley at the.
Which actually, by the way, just
Bradley's gonna.
vaulted it
Yeah.
a point above
Bradley's gonna.
the other
There's
one.
been
So.
vaulting.
He's gonna put it down to like 2-9.
Every time I put a wine up, he's putting a wine
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
You guys didn't know you were sitting on a teeter-totter? That's how this works. I love you a
He
little.
doesn't. He still doesn't know.
Okay, well, I think it's time.
What do you think, Bradley? Are you keeping the same score?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. So let's reveal wine F. Sean,
Yep.
that was your second favorite now, I guess.
Second favorite now. Actually, third. B was my favorite.
So this is a Cabernet
B, yes,
from
that's right.
Mendoza region in Argentina.
Where'd it go? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Right there.
And so, what do you like this one so much?
I actually would have never said cab on this, but the fact that it's from Argentina kind of now makes
Yeah.
sense in that. Because I was picking up a lot of New World, but the earthiness out of it, I was actually leaning more towards kind of a Syrah and Mourvedre and that kind of, natural earth tones that you get more in those. And because it wasn't heavy on the oak or wood, and because it didn't have the cassis that I guess the Napa palate, we oftentimes.
Cassis? Oh, sorry,
Cassis?
Cassis.
Cat's ass. Cat's ass.
Got it, good,
Cat's
good,
ass.
good. Excellent.
That we get so used to with
Right.
Napa cabs that all of a sudden all cabs you drink have to have that. So with this, with the really nice, terroir and earth tones and
Right.
everything that had going on, I was totally leaning more towards Syrah and Mourvedre and things of that nature. But still kind of New World style because it did have that
Right.
brightness to it. It's
This
really
wine,
good
this
wine.
Cabernet is like, I always say it's like young and wild.
Yeah.
That's my description of that
Oh, that's
Cabernet.
great.
3 nights
Great description. It's a great
And
description.
brother, you don't like it? I mean, you don't like it. I mean, you liked it, but that's your your score.
This is piss. Why did you put it in my glass?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was Merlot from warmer climate. I mean, it's soft. I don't get a lot of a whole lot of texture that isn't soft. Soft is a texture, but tannin, oak, mostly gone. It's rich. It's full. It'll make a lot of people happy for
Right.
sure. Something you can drink. I'm sure a whole bunch of. Whoa, doing whatever you do.
Yeah.
What's the price point on that?
This one is $39.95.
But it's really only.
Divide that in half.
I'd rather
39.95.
Oh, you
my
drove
skills.
the Shore bus. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Well,
That's why
I was
I
off on the
make
fun of
price
it.
point, but I was right on the varietal. I'm happy
Yeah.
to say.
Did you guess Cabernet?
I did. I guess Cabernet, and I abstained from location, so I'm
Absolutely.
Well,
You're not wrong.
100% correct.
Yeah.
I like it.
That is red wine from Earth.
You get the vintage too?
I did not get the vintage.
Okay.
But
I don't
if you
think
hand that
any
to
of
me,
us-
I'll lock it down right
I don't
now.
think any of us even tried vintages. No.
Right, no.
All right, so we're gonna try this exercise in the next couple of wines here, very quickly. You like
Exercise with the wines?
exercise. C. That's your favorite wine. Or
No,
second
no,
favorite.
B is my favorite. C
Yeah,
is my
we
second
changed
favorite.
7
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
What was your original
I-
favorite?
What?
But as we all know, the longer a bottle of wine is open and it changes as
Right.
it's open and it changes in the glass, and that sometimes you just can't take your first initial idea of that wine. You kind of got to give it a moment.
Right.
You kind of got to, it took me a long time to get used to Ian, and now I love
right,
him,
Sean.
so it's okay.
So, what is it?
I was wavering back and forth. I, for some crazy reason, was actually going Pinot Blanc. I don't know where that came from, but texture on it,
You're still
flavor
in that.
profile,
It's white, they can't see it.
it is probably as far off kilter as it can be. But I really enjoyed it, and
How much you pay for this?
I actually put $20 down. for
20
Steve.
bucks? All right, how about you, In?
I wrote Cabernet Blanc.
Cabernet Blanc.
Blonde, yes, I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes.
It's all the
Like
rage.
Cabernet Blanc.
Since it doesn't actually exist, I also challenge you to tell me I'm wrong.
Do not let him lie. He wrote Chardonnay.
That's my nickname. God, yes, that's true.
He wrote
That
Chardonnay.
is Cabernet White. This is
Yeah,
Blanc.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
The Cabernet Blanc. Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure you pay for this.
Yes. What's that?
How much will you pay?
This one I put $11.99.
$11.99. How about you, Bradley? Come on.
He's
Something
not
really
impressed. He's not impressed.
Yeah, it's cool.
There it is, ladies and
He's not
gentlemen.
going out
When
on a
you
second
need
date, though. Yeah, it's like,
You're
I like
marketing.
you, but I don't like
His name is Bradley Wasserman. He's our new color guy. He's just that good.
If I'm buying a bottle of this and it's, yeah, $10, $12.
$12.
Yeah,
What
satisfied.
will be your guess on the very top?
Chardonnay.
Shawnee?
Yeah.
All right, let's reveal.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a classic.
Stateland, Santa Barbara County
Yeah.
Chardonnay.
For me, this is a classic Santa Barbara.
See, here you are making up a bunch of words.
Yeah.
Chardonnay.
Do you see what's written on my notes?
Yeah, and I don't know.
PB
I don't know
/
what a PB is.
but
and I
I-
definitely don't know who Chad is. But apparently you like him. Isn't that your favorite?
And his pee-pee.
No, only if it's a hanging Chad.
Oh, man.
Remember, you had to hold those cards up. It's a hanging Chad. Hanging. Couldn't decide.
That's awesome.
Oh
All right.
my.
And the last one to be revealed, should we go the exercise? I like
Wait,
I like
no.
that.
They need to try to guess.
Holy hell. All right, here we go. Jiminy's
Actually, I want more of that.
heavens to Murgatroyd.
All right. So on the on B,
I'm really excited. I'm just going to interrupt you.
Sean, you enjoyed that?
Yeah, I actually gave this my highest score.
Yeah.
That's good.
Probably
You've said that
because
so many times.
you.
3 out of 6 wines and
No,
then your
he
favorite.
keeps, he keeps
I love
telling
it.
me.
That's the highest score.
He's
I
like,
love
"This is
it.
your highest score." I'm like, "No, that's my second.
He's
This is your highest
This is
score."
my favorite one.
Well, you know, we're
I'm having a
drinking.
great time.
You realize my
It's
other
really good. I
Oh,
love
it's
it.
really hot. I'm hot.
You're so hot.
I'm just drinking gin.
So
Paris Hilton was here.
Sean, why do you like this one so much? We're gonna go like a
Because this
to-
was back, real quick, this is back to what we were talking about earlier. This was the wine that the more I smelled, the less I could actually put my finger on any of the aromatics or flavor profiles. And it has the most layers to it out of any of the wines that we've had. And for me, those layers and that inability to just kind of reach out and say, oh yeah, that definitely smells like this, or that definitely smells like that. This is the most interesting of them all. So, there you go.
So it's got some mojo, is what you're saying.
And this is my favorite wine that I brought.
Bradley?
So,
Oh, nice.
Same, I agree. I think it is the most interesting. It's captivating. There's layers, there's texture. It's far from flawed, right? Like it's a solid, sound wine. I mean, this is
You guys venture into a grape varietal?
Rhone, something in the Rhone.
Rhone, you
I get to
say.
say it.
That's not a grape varietal.
I was thinking French Old World
what I
for a
say.
while, but I actually started going to northern Italy. I started thinking of like Soave and Orvieto and kind of thinking of that area, and that definitely cooler, well, more cooler climate. Kind of hot a
Like
climate, but
Suave?
like Suave, yeah, like Suave,
Like
Orvieto,
yeah.
things like that.
Suave. How about
So,
you? How
Me
about
and
you?
Agnes grabbing out here.
I wrote white blend again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
That's
with a
cheating.
big question
I
mark.
really
He had no idea.
That's an exclamation point. It just got bent at the top.
Yeah, no idea. Big question mark.
Okay. So open it and then the front label.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I'll tell
alright.
you what it is.
What is it?
So this is a wine from Sicily. in Italy.
L'Italia!
And it is 80% Fiano and 20% Chenin Blanc.
Oh, sounds like a white blend to me.
It is a white.
Boom, ladies and
But you didn't
gentlemen!
name the
Italian
two.
old world to me.
But you didn't name the
Yeah.
two grapes.
That's it.
This
I didn't have a chance. This guy was yelling at me.
That's the winner.
So this is my favorite wine that I brought. It's complex. It's got a lot of honey and nutty and like pineapple type flavors. I actually had this the other night when I was tasting these, and I did a caprese salad with it, which was delicious.
Just delicious.
Just
I loved
delicious. Because you know I like to do the food wine pairing. It's definitely the most interesting. It has, as you guys said, all the layers. I really like it.
It has a salacious tropical quality. It is lush pineapple, freshly shucked.
Right.
I don't know, do you shuck pineapples?
One could.
Yeah.
But
No.
one could, if we're so inclined.
Right? It's,
Okay, so you guys have now been presented 6 wines that span literally the globe. Some of them have been rock stars that you can't wait to drink again. Others, we were speculating certain degrees of faults. So in that topic, there's a bit of a running diatribe throughout the valley, particularly as producers go. At what level can a fault in the wine be left untamed or unchecked and just be put into the market? So should there be a regimented or a governmental faction that comes through and says, no, this is too dirty. There's too much funk. And I don't know, is that something that resonates with you, or is it, buyer beware. It's not my fault if it's dirty.
I mean, who's to say who likes the fun, man? I mean, my friend, if you like half blue ribbon, I mean, people are going to start tearing that in Old Milwaukee out of your hand. St. Louis is going to stop drinking. So, I mean, I think much like beer, if you like it, it's good, man. And if there's, I mean, as long as it isn't harmful funk, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, it tastes like salmonella. I don't know what that tastes like, but you don't want that in a wine, I'll tell you that. So, I mean, I'm immediately sick. This is wonderful. And there were GHB, maybe another bad one. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, it is a buyer beware thing. And frankly, with some of the best selling wines in this country, and I'm not going to name any, some of the, but I would say, oh my God, you got to take this off the market, and they're going to sell 50 million cases or whatever it is this year of those wines. And I think we're all picturing the same dessert-oriented wine, but there it is.
You know, it's so you're saying you want more government?
Not more government.
He did spell it Fed.
Yeah,
He did spell
I wanted it to be deaf. Come on.
subliminal
No,
right there.
I
Not
don't-
even.
The thing about it is that tastes change, right? Our tastes change, the sort of global nature of taste change. There's a marketing component, and marketing really has nothing to do with taste in general, and people don't know what they like, and they learn to like what is popular. So I think...
Wait a minute, are you telling me that marketing is telling people what they should be drinking?
No, that's not what I said at all.
Oh, I hope so.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I said. It's I mean, one of the local winemakers said recently that the Brettanomyces is something that is no longer in the toolbox to play with, to add complexity. And to a certain degree, I believe that, because people don't want that. But on the other hand, I think that if you said, you know, if you analyzed the wine and said that if there was any in it that it couldn't be brought to market, that would be unfortunate, because you'd have a lot of wines that you know, wouldn't show it early, because it'd be all the rich fruit and all the primary character, and it would go unnoticed, and people would enjoy it, and life would go on. And then for the few people who age it a really long time and understand the complexities that develop and all of those things and appreciate that, and they're happy, they embrace it, then it'd be a missed opportunity. So.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take exactly what you said, because I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna run off on a tangent in the sense that wine is a living thing, and no two bottles in the same case are the same. And there are so many different aspects of a wine, whether it be Brettanomyces, whether it be, you know, TCA, corked wines. All of these things exist. And if you were, as a government,
They
to
don't
go
exist
through,
without those
or as a
bottles.
regulatory service, go through and open up a bottle of wine in a case, test it, and that one bottle had elevated levels of, you know, Brettanomyces or elevated levels of TCA. And you basically said that this wine as a whole is no longer sellable.
Suspect.
Sorry,
Right.
it's no. Because once that wine goes in a bottle, each one of those bottles is now an individual entity.
Okay.
You know, you can't sterilize wine.
Actually, I think people do all that.
No, no.
And when they do, it's his favorite.
It's my favorite. I absolutely love sterilized wine. I like to just drink them in my padded walls with just nothing but white lights and happiness in my jacket with one hand, just so I don't try and stab myself with the glass, right? But that's the way you have to look at wine. Wine in and of itself, no two bottles are exactly alike. And that's part of why we enjoy it so much. And that's part of why we constantly will buy a case of wine and drink one bottle a year for a special occasion, or whether or not it's like, oh man, we just feel like opening that tonight. And it's never gonna taste exactly the same. And the minute you try and approach something and say, well, no, we actually went through your case and tasted it, is bad. Well, Ian doesn't get any. Ian, you're now officially not allowed to have this wine. Everybody else, they can have this wine. They don't mind if it's favorite.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen,
Sorry.
we've taken a long and distinguished journey. We've traipsed the globe, finding things that are really, really ridiculous. Get your ass to BevMo, get this wine in your glass. It is unbelievably delicious.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Ian,
Beard
Sean,
Brigade.
Bradley, it was lovely to spend a few minutes with you. Rachel, thank you for bringing such a provocative line of great wines. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for yet another episode of Tasting in the Dark here on ToutSuite. Remember, taste everything and know you can always spit it on the ground.
I love it. Cheers. Cheers, guys.
Good, sir.
I'm so glad you know that.